Chapter 1: The Forgotten Blueprints. Imagine discovering a dusty scroll or a series of carvings in a cave, something dismissed as an old myth. Yet, upon closer inspection, you find it tells of remarkable tools and gadgets, the sort that seem almost too advanced for the time they were made. It's easy to think of ancient tech as simple and rudimentary, but what if that's not always the case? Let's take a closer look at what might be lurking in the shadows of history. Throughout history, various civilizations have been credited with technologies and ideas that seem far beyond their times. Consider the Antikythera mechanism, often hailed as the world's first analog computer. Discovered in a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera in 1901. Built around the 2nd century BCE, this device, packed with over 30 gears, was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance. Modern researchers still puzzle over its complexity, marveling at how such advanced engineering could exist over 2,000 years ago. Similarly, the stone circles of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey have challenged what we thought we knew about early peoples. Dating back to around 9600 BCE, this site predates Stonehenge by several millennia. Yet it exhibits incredibly sophisticated architecture. The stone pillars, often intricately carved with animals, suggest a level of social organization and planning quite surprising for hunter-gatherers. This, in turn, raises questions about the development of technology. How was such a feat coordinated, and what tools did they possess to achieve it? Another instance is the Baghdad Battery, discovered in Iraq in the 1930s. These are clay jars approximately 2,000 years old, containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod. When filled with an acidic solution like vinegar, they produce an electric current. Some scientists believe these may have been used for electroplating objects, indicating a grasp of electricity that aligns with inventions millennia later. Ponder the incredible engineering feats of ancient Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza, around 4,500 years old, is made from millions of limestone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons. The precision with which these blocks are cut and arranged leaves many questions about the tools and techniques employed. While we have theories, like ramps and counterweights, the exact methods remain partially shrouded in mystery. In the Indian subcontinent, archaeological finds from the ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro, part of the Indus Valley civilization, tell yet another fascinating tale. This city boasted advanced drainage and sewage systems, which many parts of the world wouldn't see again for thousands of years. The civilization's uniformity in weights and measures hints at a highly organized society with an acute understanding of mathematics and engineering principles. It's tempting to separate these stories into myths and reality. Yet, some believe there might be more to the legends than once thought, leading to a fresh look at old texts and forgotten clues. Ancient Indian texts, the Vedas and epics like the Mahabharata, reference sophisticated flying machines called vimanas. While there's no concrete evidence for such craft, the specificity of the descriptions detailing materials, movements, and sometimes even propulsion systems intrigues those daring enough to ask, what if? Serious scholars and curious minds alike must tread carefully, differentiating between imaginative lore and scientific possibility. Still, we might miss out on learning something valuable if we dismiss these stories outright. With modern tools, like ground-penetrating radar and satellite imaging, we're beginning to uncover more than we ever thought possible. Such technology gives us a glimpse under jungle canopies or beneath shifting sands, exposing lost cities and forgotten structures. One critical aspect of this exploration is the cautious assembly of evidence with an understanding of the broader context. Archaeologists and scientists often look to environmental data, geological surveys, and pollen samples to build a picture of a society's technological prowess and how they interacted with their environment. Revolutionary carbon dating techniques help us pinpoint the age of objects more accurately, refining our understanding further. Ancient technologies might tell us not just about the past, but surprise us by offering unexpected solutions for the future. Some modern engineers and inventors find inspiration in these old ideas. For instance, the ancient Roman practice of creating durable concrete has fascinated modern builders for years. By studying the molecular structure and the use of volcanic ash, researchers have uncovered why Roman structures have withstood the ages, prompting a re-evaluation of concrete production today. As the study of past innovations continues evolving, we're reminded of the untapped knowledge potentially hidden in plain sight. There's a world of wisdom and invention waiting to teach us more about human capability, resilience, and ingenuity. While we may never unlock every secret, embracing this curiosity opens doors to countless possibilities. We stand at the crossroads of history and discovery, not just to retell the stories of those who came before, but to learn from them, to see how they might guide us forward. The key is keeping an open mind, letting each new find ignite a spark of wonder and possibility. After all, what else might there be, just waiting to be uncovered? Chapter 2: Lost in Translation. Imagine walking through an ancient landscape where the stones themselves might whisper secrets. If only we knew how to listen. This chapter gently nudges the boundaries between lore and fact, not to stretch the imagination too thin, but to remain rooted in possibilities that bear evidence, pondering if what we've long relegated to myths might actually echo the knowledge of civilizations far older than we usually consider. While the tales of Atlantis often come up, let's steer away from that for now, and instead focus on something closer to factual ground. For instance, the Antikythera mechanism, a bronze artifact discovered in a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera, challenged our understanding of ancient engineering prowess. When it came to light in the early 20th century, this sophisticated device is often referred to as an ancient analog computer, designed to predict astronomical positions and eclipses. Its complexity, with intricate gears of various sizes and configurations, wasn't replicated until much later in human history. This begs the question: how many other such artifacts remain undiscovered or misclassified, sheltering their true purpose under layers of time and dust? When considering other examples from history, one might turn to stories of the Baghdad battery, found near modern-day Baghdad. These objects, dated to around 250 BC, comprised a clay jar, a copper tube, and an iron rod. While some suggest it could be an ancient battery capable of generating a small electrical charge, others argue it might have been used for simple electroplating or even merely a storage vessel. Whether or not it truly functioned as a battery, the very suggestion that such knowledge was present introduces tantalizing possibilities of lost technologies waiting to be acknowledged. Across the world, in Central America, the massive stone spheres of Costa Rica, discovered in the delta, add to our trail of curiosity. Precisely carved and almost perfectly spherical, these stone objects range in size and weight, with some small enough to be moved by hand and others weighing tons. Initially thought to have been transportable talismans or symbols of status, their exact purpose remains speculative. Some propose they were aligned with astronomical events, while others suggest a form of early map-making. The absence of comprehensive written records leaves us piecing together a story that drifts between certainty and legend. Then, consider the structures that dot the British Isles. older than even the pyramids of Giza. The henges and dolmens that comprise mysterious gatherings of stones, precisely positioned and aligned with celestial phenomena. Stonehenge is well known, but other sites like Avebury or Newgrange present similar puzzles. The latter, Newgrange in Ireland, showcases a remarkable feature where, during the winter solstice, sunlight streams through an opening to illuminate the interior chamber. Such intricate design speaks to more than mere architectural significance and pushes us to consider what blend of science and ritual dictated its construction. Mesoamerica offers further insight with the Mayan civilization, whose innovations often leave us awe-inspired. The Maya developed a deep, profound understanding of astronomy, architecture, and mathematics that led to some of the most sophisticated calendars the world has known. Ancient observatories, like those that illustrate their precise and purposeful alignment with celestial bodies. This knowledge wasn't solely for agricultural planning. It entwined with their mythology and worldview in ways we are only beginning to unravel. What binds these ancient marvels across continents is a commonality of advanced understanding in at least one domain of science or technology. Whether it's using the stars to guide constructions, as with the Mayans, or speculating about primitive electronics with the Baghdad battery. Each example reveals a sliver of ingenuity that echoes down the corridors of time. However, locked within storytelling and cultural narratives, it's possible we've missed recognizing other ancient innovations entirely, dismissing them as myths or embellishments. Continuing on this thread of lost or obscured knowledge, the Library of Alexandria serves as a stark reminder. As the most significant repository of knowledge in the ancient world, its loss signifies more than the destruction of texts. It symbolizes the fragile nature of human progress. What bits of technological wisdom might have silently vanished with its scrolls? While we try unearthing answers, it's crucial to mesh our learning with respect for the cultures these stories originated. Understanding that what we classify as myth often comes with a heavy cloak of meaning, one not easily translated across time. Instead of reining these artifacts definitively into the realm of fiction or myth, we should remain open to the continuing journey of discovery, piecing together not just the physical puzzle, but the contextual narrative each society wove into its understanding of the universe. Each discovery, therefore, prompts not just academic inquisition, but inspires a wider introspection about our current society. It opens up the conversation about how humanity might endeavor to preserve its knowledge amidst the rapid technological advancements today. By studying how our ancestors recorded and understood their worlds, we too can learn deep humility. Despite our digital age, the very idea of losing current knowledge, as intact as it feels now, becomes possible should we dismiss the lessons history imparts. At the heart of this exploration lies a powerful truth. We have only begun to scratch the surface of what ancient civilizations achieved. With each finding and every re-evaluation, we're continuously reminded of their impact. And so, the question remains, how much more is out there, waiting to be rediscovered and placed rightly within the annals of human achievement? It is a question we pursue earnestly, armed with nothing more than curiosity and a willingness to listen, not just to history's loud voices, but its whispering echoes. Chapter 3: Echoes of Atlantis. Imagine a time, thousands of years ago, when a great civilization flourished somewhere in the middle of the ocean. Some say it was a land of advanced people with technology we cannot even begin to imagine. Ancient stories about this place are full of incredible feats, wondrous inventions, and almost magical marvels. You've probably heard this tale before. The land has often been called Atlantis, But what if some part of those stories is true? Let's take a closer look at what we know and see if there's a sliver of historical truth hidden within these myths. The first person to tell the story of this lost land was the Greek philosopher Plato, who lived over 2,000 years ago. He spoke of Atlantis in two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. According to Plato, Atlantis was a powerful and advanced civilization that existed over 9,000 years before his time, said to be located beyond the Pillars of Hercules. What we now call the Strait of Gibraltar. Atlantis was described as a large island with fabulous wealth, advanced knowledge, and unmatched naval power. But then, suddenly, as the story goes, it disappeared into the sea as swiftly as it had risen. Interestingly, several modern explorations have hinted that Plato's account might not be entirely fictional. For instance, some researchers believe that certain real-life natural disasters might explain the sudden fall of Atlantis. Take, for example, the ancient island of Thera, now known as Santorini. Situated in the Aegean Sea, this island was home to a thriving Minoan civilization. Around 1600 BCE, a massive volcanic eruption devastated Thera, leading to the collapse of its prosperous society. The eruption left a significant part of the island submerged underwater. Could this event have inspired the myth of a great city falling into the sea? The intriguing part is the advanced technology that some believe the Atlanteans possessed. Plato mentioned that they had unique architecture, ornately designed buildings, and a mastery of constructing with metal that their contemporaries could hardly comprehend. Some scientists and historians have speculated that the stories of Atlantis might hold echoes of real technological wonders from ancient times. Could it be that artifacts with unusual properties or advanced designs that have been found in various parts of the world are remnants of such a lost civilization? One technology that time and again pops up in discussions about advanced ancient tech is the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera in the early 1900s, it's often dubbed as the first analog computer. It dates to around 150 to 100 BCE and was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses. Its complexity puzzled researchers for decades, as its sophistication was far advanced for its time. Could devices like the Antikythera mechanism be faint, long-lasting echoes of lost knowledge, possibly tied to impressive stories like that of Atlantis? Some researchers even propose a link between ancient knowledge of electricity and the myths of Atlantis. There's evidence that curious artifacts like the Baghdad Batteria, simple galvanic cell dating from the time of the Parthians, around 250 BCE, existed in ancient times. Though some debate its purpose, its similarity to a battery raises the fascinating question of whether ancient civilizations had dabblings, however rudimentary, in electrical technology. Beyond Europe, there are other mysterious ruins worldwide that some liken to Atlantis. The megalithic structures found underwater at Yonaguni, Japan, have sparked considerable debate. Discovered in 1986, these formations resemble steps, terraces, and paved streets submerged a few meters below the water. While natural geological processes can mimic man-made structures, some argue that these could be remnants of a once thriving land, now submerged in ancient city. Other sites, like the ruins of Tiahuanaco and Pomapunku in South America, puzzled historians and engineers alike because of the precision and engineering skills needed to construct them. Built using interlocking stones, some weighing several tons, their presentation seems extraordinarily modern. How were such monumental structures made with such exactness thousands of years ago? Could these be genuine evidence of a sophisticated technological understanding from a bygone era? Our quest for understanding this ancient tale doesn't stop at physical remains. Legends from around the globe speak of sunken lands, recurrent stories of great floods, and civilizations that rose and fell long before recorded history began. From the Mediterranean's Bosporus region with its marine archaeology sites like Pavlopetri to the depths of the Black Sea, investigations continue in the hope of finding links to these epic narratives. As we piece together information from seafloor mapping, geological surveys, and digital modeling of ancient coastlines, we step closer to unveiling truths hidden beneath the ocean waves. What we find increases our understanding of ancient societies and their capabilities, shedding light on the possibility that these stories were based, even in part, on real historical changes. Of course, skepticism is healthy. The legends could be nothing more than tales crafted to entertain or teach moral lessons. Yet, as technology progresses, so does our ability to explore the past with fresh perspective and better tools. Whether through modern echo soundings of ocean floors, sonar imaging of submerged structures, or renewed scrutiny of previously discovered artifacts, each investigation offers the chance to reconsider stories we thought were mere myth. Can we conclusively prove the existence of this lost civilization as described by Plato? Not yet, however, as we continue to delve into the myths and merge them with science. The whispers of forgotten realms continue to challenge us with their mystery. Every new find adds an echo of possibility and invitation to explore the endless what-ifs of our shared history. The ocean may guard its secrets well, but it's the determined curiosity of humanity that dares to look further, listen carefully, and wonder just how many stories of lost worlds wait to be discovered. Chapter 4: Mysteries in Stone. In the shadow of tall mountains and deep forests, our world is scattered with ancient stones that whisper secrets of the past. These stones are not just silent storytellers etched by the passage of time. They hold clues that could unravel mysteries about the very fabric of our history. Imagine walking through an ancient site where each stone might have held a purpose far beyond mere construction. Perhaps a tool or piece of technology that we, in our modern times, have yet to understand. Take, for instance, the remarkable blocks in Peru's Ollantaytambo, or the famed stones of Stonehenge in the United Kingdom. Their sheer size and precise placement raise questions that still baffle experts today. For centuries, people have pondered how ancient civilizations transported and positioned these massive stones with such precision using seemingly rudimentary tools. Although we've guessed at ropes, rollers, and manpower, the true methods remain elusive. One prevailing theory involves the lost knowledge of sound and vibration. Some researchers suggest that ancient builders might have understood principles of acoustics in ways we're only beginning to explore. Could it be possible that sound waves were used to manipulate stone, making it easier to transport? This idea, though it sounds like science fiction, has roots in studies about acoustic levitation, where sound can indeed lift small particles. Such theories, while intriguing, remain speculative without concrete evidence, but they invite us to consider just how advanced these ancient societies might have been. Across the ocean, in Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza stands not only as a testament to human ingenuity, but also as a source of endless fascination. It's easy to admire its grandeur without pondering the skills required to achieve such precision thousands of years ago. The pyramid aligns perfectly with the cardinal points, and the measurements of its sides reflect advanced mathematical understanding. Recent studies suggest that the Egyptians had knowledge of pi, a mathematical constant that wasn't recorded until much later. What if they possessed not only the resourcefulness to calculate complex mathematical formulae, but also advanced tools or machines that aided their construction endeavors. Some researchers have pointed out that the ancient Egyptians might have used a method involving wooden levers and a counterweight system. This would allow them to lift heavy stones with relative ease. While this doesn't necessarily mean they had machines in the sense we define today, it certainly shows an advanced understanding of physics. Moving to the ancient city of Rome, we see aqueducts and roads that have stood the test of time. The Romans were masters of engineering, but beyond their obvious expertise, there lies a mystery in their use of concrete. Roman concrete is known for its durability and longevity, surprising many modern engineers and scientists. Research into its composition revealed that the Romans mixed volcanic ash with lime, creating a chemical reaction that strengthened underwater. This ancient technology allowed their structures to endure for centuries, prompting a reconsideration of our current building practices. The existence of strange and complex stone carvings found across various ancient cultures pushes our understanding even further. The carvings depict scenes and objects that are unexplainable by the technology and knowledge those civilizations supposedly had. Could these representations be artistic symbols, or do they exemplify something more, possibly misunderstood technology from an era forgotten? One intriguing example is the Dendora light in Egypt, which some believe shows Egyptians using electrical lighting. While most mainstream archaeologists agree these reliefs likely depict a ceremonial ritual involving lotus flowers, others see the shapes and elements compiled differently. Exploring new ideas keeps the doors open for understanding these ancient creations differently. Research teams around the world use advanced technology, like ground-penetrating radar and three-dimensional modeling, to uncover secrets hidden deep within these stone marvels. By examining the construction sites and tools left behind, researchers aim to reconstruct the processes our ancestors followed. Every piece of information adds another layer to the tapestry of human history. When we observe these stones, we often do so through the lens of our current knowledge and technologies. But, as history has shown, today's impossibility might be explained tomorrow. While the stones themselves remain reddish or grey and still as ever, they hold an invitation to unlock the potential insights they conceal. Our goal is to connect the fragments of history in a way that respects the intelligence of those who came before us, while spurring our current scientific inquiry. As we continue to dig deeper into the past, a pattern emerges. It's one of human innovation and curiosity. Each stone, whether part of a mighty pyramid or a towering monolith, serves as a cornerstone for understanding our strengths and limitations. With each revelation, we are reminded not to underestimate the ingenuity of ancient societies, knowing that much of what they achieved still holds lessons for our future. Chapter 5. The Timeless Machines. Imagine a path that winds through the crowded and busy streets of history, where every stone carries the weight of time and secrets lie buried beneath our feet. As we walk, we realize that the world we know is built on layers of human effort, trial, and error. But what if, amid these layers, there are bits of ancient wisdom and forgotten know-how that we have overlooked? These are wisdoms wrapped in myths and legends, maybe even thought to be mere stories or fables. Today, let's consider machines from our distant past that might hold the key to understanding these mysteries. Throughout the annals of time, there have been stories of machines that seem to advance for their age. One such machine is the Antikythera mechanism, a device discovered off the coast of Greece in 1901. This amazing artifact, which scientists believe dates back to around 100 BCE, has astounded researchers due to its complexity. With a series of interlocking gears, it is believed to have been used to predict astronomical events, like eclipses and the positions of the planets. Imagine ancient Greek hands turning its dials to track the celestial ballet of the night sky. When examined through modern X-ray tomography, the precision of its craftsmanship left experts dumbfounded. How did its makers, who lived over 2,000 years ago, understand such advanced technology? Some suggest that this knowledge may have been passed down from an even older tradition, now lost to time. Another intriguing concept is that of the Baghdad battery. Found near Baghdad, Iraq, this simple-looking clay jar with a copper cylinder and an iron rod might have been used as a primitive battery, possibly to electroplate objects with gold. While there is no direct evidence that the ancients were using electricity, the existence of such a device raises the question: could the people of Mesopotamia have harnessed electricity thousands of years ago? If so, how did this knowledge vanish or get set aside in the course of history? Theories abound, but without concrete evidence, we are left to wonder how many other inventions might have existed. Let's not forget the ancient Romans, whose engineering feats continue to awe us. The Roman aqueducts are enduring symbols of their ingenuity, transporting water over long distances to feed cities and farmlands. But among these marvels is another technological enigma: the use of concrete that seemingly defies time. Roman concrete, particularly in structures such as the Pantheon and sea harbors, has survived for millennia, stronger perhaps than some modern-day choices. Scientists have discovered that the secret to its durability lies in its unique mix, which includes components like volcanic ash. This mix allows the concrete to actually strengthen over time when exposed to seawater, a kind of self-healing technology long before the term existed. Why, then, did this knowledge disappear, only to resurface centuries later? While these examples fascinate us, they also invite us to think about the limits of our understanding of the past. What other creations were lost? What did we dismiss as myth or misunderstanding, only to discover that they were very real? The truth is, we often view ancient technology through the lens of our current knowledge, perhaps limiting our perspective. Could it be that there are other ancient technologies, artifacts, or ideas waiting to be discovered or re-evaluated with fresh eyes and an open mind? This brings us to the vast land of Egypt, where many have pondered the construction of the pyramids. The precision with which these towering stone structures were built suggests knowledge and techniques not fully understood in their time. The Great Pyramid of Giza, in particular, has been the subject of countless studies. Its alignment with the cardinal points and the sheer complexity of its construction speak of a society that possessed advanced technical and engineering skills. Some experts even suggest that the builders might have used water as a leveling tool, a simple yet ingenious method to achieve such precision. In our ongoing search for understanding, let's not forget the stories of Atlantis, a tale of a mighty advanced civilization that supposedly vanished beneath the waves. While there is no evidence to prove Atlantis's existence, the story reflects a human fascination with lost worlds and forgotten technologies. It reminds us that, in many ways, searching for ancient technologies is not just about the machines themselves, but about uncovering the wisdom and learning of peoples long gone. As we conclude this exploration, consider the wider impact of these discoveries. How might modern technology benefit if we were to uncover more secrets from our ancestors? Could ancient practices inform sustainable solutions today, in a world facing new challenges and changes? In pondering these questions, we invite the spirit of discovery and the hope that the next layer of Earth we uncover could change the way we see our history and our future. For history is not set in stone but lives through our understanding and curiosity, willing to reveal its wonders to all who seek its knowledge. So, let us keep digging, questioning, and learning, as the sands of time slowly reveal the tales and technologies of those who came before us. Chapter 6. Myth to Matter. Imagine walking through a grand ancient city, filled with towering structures and bustling life. The world around you is vibrant and full of activity, yet there's a strange mix of the familiar and the mysterious. It's not exactly what you'd expect from an ancient civilization. What if some of the tales of these places weren't just imaginative stories, but accounts of real technology that once existed and somehow got lost to time? It's fascinating to think that our ancestors might have had technologies that we've only reinvented much later or haven't rediscovered yet. Let's take a look at some stories and artifacts that challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations. The city of Alexandria in Egypt is famous for many reasons. It was home to an incredible library, a beacon of knowledge in the ancient world, and the Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. This lighthouse was said to be a technological marvel. Built during the reign of Ptolemy II, it guided sailors safely to the harbor with a bright light that could be seen for miles. Some speculate it may have used mirrors to reflect sunlight during the day, a technique more advanced than it's often credited for. There's more to consider. In the 1890s, an incredible find was made in the waters off the Greek island of Antikythera. Divers recovered a strange, corroded device now known as the Antikythera mechanism. It took decades of study, but eventually, scholars realized this wasn't just a jumble of gears. It was an ancient analog computer, conceived over 2,000 years ago. Experts believe it was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses. Its complexity defies its age, with some modern researchers saying it's as sophisticated as medieval clocks that didn't appear until 1,000 years later. If such technology existed back then, it's possible there were other imaginative inventions that have yet been discovered. Intriguingly, there are numerous references in ancient texts that describe machines and innovations that seem beyond what was thought possible at the time. Take, for example, the ancient Indian epics, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. They speak of vimanas, flying chariots used by gods and heroes. Some ancient astronaut theorists suggest that these descriptions are indicative of advanced aerial vehicles. Engineers and researchers dismiss these claims as myths, but it's hard to overlook the detailed descriptions of flying experiences. While mainstream archaeologists argue these are metaphors or fiction, isn't it worth reflecting on whether there's a kernel of truth hidden beneath layers of legend? Look to ancient Egypt's pyramids, wonders of the world that have puzzled researchers for centuries. While efforts to understand their construction continue, several scholars have pondered, if ancient Egyptians had more sophisticated tools than previously assumed. Consider the precision with which they cut massive stones and aligned them to cardinal points with astounding accuracy. Some experts argue that statements found in Egyptian carvings that describe seeing stars or jet pillars depict some awareness of technology that required precise astronomical measurements. Though speculative, such questions keep the curiosity alive, urging us to dig deeper into what ancient inventiveness could achieve. Let's not overlook the legends surrounding the island of Atlantis. Plato's writings describe a powerful civilization that disappeared beneath the sea. Whether Atlantis existed or not is still a topic of hot debate. But Plato's account does stimulate thinking around advanced engineering and technology, envisioning feats that many believe could only be imagined. Some researchers question whether it was a real place or derived from a memory of an actual ancient city with advanced knowledge. However, others suggest it serves as a cautionary tale of technological prowess gone awry. So, when we dismiss certain myths or legends as merely stories, Are we missing out on uncovering lessons from our own history? As archaeologists continue to uncover more of Earth's past, it's crucial to keep an open mind. It's entirely possible that our predecessors crafted technologies only for these to decay over time, be lost to conflict, or misconstrued as folklore over centuries. As we stand on the shoulders of giants, retracing their steps, there's a sparkling chance that outlooks from these myths might prompt new discoveries. In the shifting sands of time, who's to say what remains waiting beneath? Maybe the past holds keys to unlocking innovative directions for our futures. With each dig, each discovery, and each translation of ancient scripts, we inch closer to knowing the true breadth of human capability, inspiring us to ask not just what we can learn, but how these whispers from antiquity could shape what we are yet to envision. Chapter 7. Decoding Antikythera. Imagine being an explorer under the sea, eyes wide open in awe, sifting through the sands of time. It's the year 1901, and that's what a team of divers was inadvertently doing off the coast of a Greek island named Antikythera. While searching for sponges, they stumbled upon something unexpected and deeply intriguing. There, nestled among the ruins of a shipwreck, they found a strange, corroded lump. It was something they wouldn't understand for decades, but today, we think it might be a technological marvel from the ancient world. This odd-looking piece of metal, a jumble of gears and dials, came to be known as the Antikythera mechanism. It's often described as the world's first computer. Now, when you hear computer, you might imagine laptops or smartphones, but let's rewind. This is an ancient tool built not from silicon and code, but from metal and intricate craftsmanship. Scientists have been fascinated, puzzled, and inspired by this ancient artifact ever since. It's like a history book written in a language that nobody quite understood until recent times. For many years, it was set aside, almost as if it were just another random piece of wreckage. But slowly, as technology developed, so did our ability to peer into the secrets locked within this dusty relic. Initially, people speculated it was an astronomical calendar or a navigation device. Over the years, with careful examination and modern science on our side, we've pieced together more clues. Imagine the surprise as scientists revealed that this device from over 2,000 years ago was capable of predicting astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance. One of the great leaps in understanding came when researchers used advanced imaging technology to peer inside without damaging it. Techniques like X-ray computed tomography allowed the researchers to unveil inscriptions and gear configurations that had remained hidden for centuries. What they saw was stunning. The mechanism contained at least 30 meshing bronze gears, tiny teeth, carved with incredible precision. Each gear had a purpose, playing a crucial role in the intricate dance of time and space that the mechanism orchestrated. It emerged that this finely tuned tool could show the state of known celestial bodies, predicting movements of the sun, moon, and planets with astonishing accuracy. It could point out upcoming eclipses and even the timing of the ancient Olympic Games. Imagine that. A device that connected the cosmic ballet to very human events, mixing science and social life into a single, sophisticated instrument. Historians believe that it was crafted during the Hellenistic period, possibly in the workshops influenced by great minds like Archimedes or Hipparchus. While we can't confirm the exact creator, the craftsmanship suggests a deep understanding of mathematics and engineering. Strikingly, the mechanism suggests a level of technological advancement that historians once thought impossible for its time. Did other such devices exist? If so, where did they go? These are the kind of questions that lead to sleepless nights for scholars dedicated to ancient technology. It's exciting to think about the possibility of more such inventions lurking undiscovered in history, waiting to be rediscovered. While scholars have pieced together much, some mysteries endure. There are still debates about exactly how and why such an intricate device was built. Was it solely for science and understanding, or did it hold a broader social or political purpose? Some suggest it was akin to a prized clockwork, a high-status object that illustrated power and intellect. The Antikythera mechanism makes us reflect on what ancient societies might have achieved had they developed these technologies further and distributed such knowledge widely. Their insight suggests a sophistication we too often forget when thinking about our ancestors, who were, in many ways, just as curious about the universe as we are today. Equally, the mechanism raises another pressing question. What other ancient technologies have we found and perhaps not yet understood or even dismissed entirely? Imagine the stories that our museums, storerooms, and forgotten archaeological sites might yet tell. There may well be other objects, each with its own story and mystery, waiting for us to delve deeper into the past and learn about the lives and brilliance of people long gone in the unfolding tapestry of history. The Antikythera mechanism holds a thread that connects today's technological journey with the dreams and genius of our ancestors. It serves as a reminder that the quest for knowledge and understanding is as old as humanity itself, and that our ancestors might just have more to teach us than we ever imagined. Chapter 8. Aerial Anomalies. Imagine the sky above, vast and blue, sometimes filled with fluffy clouds or twinkling stars. For centuries, people have looked up and wondered, what if, in those ancient stories about flying chariots and magical creatures soaring the skies, we are hearing echoes of something truly remarkable? What if, long ago, humans or even other beings crafted flying devices that we've missed, dismissing them as myth or allegory? Let's take a journey through history, where we find tales and artifacts that could lead us to reconsider what we think we know about ancient technology. We're setting out on an exploration through both recorded history and some lesser-known discoveries that provoke us to think. What if those stories we call myths are reflections of forgotten truths? One of the most famous figures associated with ancient flying contraptions is Leonardo da Vinci, a true visionary ahead of his time. Leonardo sketched numerous designs for flying machines, among which was his concept for an ornithopter. It resembled a bat-like wing design that would allow humans to imitate bird flight. Leonardo's notebooks filled with such drawings are tangible evidence of humanity's long fascination with flight. But Leonardo lived in the Renaissance, a period of great discovery and innovation. What if we venture further back? Ancient India offers a curious concept, the Vimana. Descriptions of Vimanas appear in several Sanskrit epics. Texts, like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, speak of these flying chariots. The Vaimanika Shastra, another text, offers even more detail, claiming to describe the construction and operation of these flying machines. Scholars largely regard this text as a 20th century creation and not an authentic ancient manuscript. Yet, the recurring mention of aerial vehicles across various texts raises eyebrows. Are these tales purely mythological? Some suggest it's an allegory for celestial travels, while others ponder if they recount advanced technology that history forgot but heavily influenced storytelling. Moving to South America, let's consider the Nazca lines in Peru. These are massive geoglyphs etched into the desert floor, depicting various animals and shapes. Why would ancient people create vast artworks only fully visible from the sky? Some propose that they were created to be seen by gods or celestial beings hovering above. However, Recent research suggests that the lines could be linked to water rituals or social practices, a more grounded explanation but nonetheless intriguing. An Egyptian artifact known as the Saqqara bird, dating around 200 BCE, adds another layer to this mystery. It's a small wooden carving that closely resembles a model airplane. Initially regarded as a simple bird carving, its aerodynamic shape led some modern researchers to hypothesize it could have been a model or a toy of a potential gliding device. Aerodynamics experts have pointed out that with slight modifications, it could theoretically glide. Does it serve as evidence of ancient Egyptian understanding of flight principles, or is it mere coincidence that nature and manual craftsmanship overlap so fascinatingly here? We can't forget the mysterious Dropa stones, which are rumored to be ancient. Circular stones found in China with peculiar grooves spiraling from the edge to the center, resembling phonograph records. While not directly linked to flying, some narratives tie them to stories of ancient extraterrestrial visitors stranded on Earth, possibly using advanced technology. This story didn't gain scholarly support and remains more in the realm of conjecture and legend. However, the allure of such thinking is that it encourages us to look at our history with an open mind, questioning what is known and accepted. Then, there is the famous Greek myth of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun with wings made of feathers and wax. Could this story hint at earlier discussions or dreams of flight? Many argue that it's a metaphor for human ambition or hubris. But within myths lie kernels of attempted innovations and aspirations that exceed what was thought possible at the time. Resonating through the ages, we round off our exploration with the Antikythera mechanism, often showcased as evidence of advanced ancient Greek technology. This ancient analog computer was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of Greece, its complexity challenges our perceptions of what ancient societies were capable of engineering. While not directly related to flight, it stands as a testament to the sophistication and ingenuity of ancient engineering. If such mechanical marvels existed 2,000 years ago, it compels us to reconsider what could have been achieved in other fields, like aviation, that historical records might not have preserved. While the stories and artifacts touch on the notion of ancient flight, each piece contributes to a larger puzzle. Dismissing them outright as fanciful flights of fancy might mean missing out on potential understandings of human progress or cultural expression. Moreover, they challenge us to keep an inquisitive mind, a critical aspect of scientific inquiry. It's crucial to approach these anomalies with rigorous skepticism and a scientific lens, yet also with an understanding of how folklore and evidence can sometimes intersect in surprising ways. Questioning leads to discovery, and perhaps, one day, we may just unearth a definitive piece of evidence that will rewrite history as we know it. Until then, the sky remains a canvas for dreams, both ancient and modern, beckoning us to imagine what has been possible throughout human history. Chapter 9: Ancient Alchemy. Imagine a world long before the modern gadgets and devices we now rely on. Picture a time when the boundaries between science, magic, and spirituality blurred into a colorful tapestry. This was the era when alchemy flourished, a practice that intrigued many and promised wonders to those daring enough to pursue its secrets. Alchemy is often seen today as mere mumbo-jumbo, but what if, hidden behind its cryptic language and symbols, there lies knowledge that we dismiss too casually as myth? The word alchemy often conjures thoughts of wizards hunched over bubbling cauldrons, trying to turn lead into gold. Yet, alchemy was much more than just about material wealth. It was an early form of science, a precursor to chemistry, infused with philosophy and spirituality. Alchemists were keen observers of nature, and their work was deeply intertwined with the cosmos. They sought to uncover the secrets of life and matter itself, believing that everything in the universe was connected in a grand design. Scholars and thinkers of ancient civilizations, such as Egypt, China, Greece, and later the Islamic world, engaged with alchemy. One of the most famous legends from alchemy is the Philosopher's Stone, a mythical substance said to have the ability to grant immortality or turn base metals into precious ones. It's easy to dismiss it as fantasy, but could it be a metaphor for deeper truths? Historian and philosopher of science, William Newman, suggests that the pursuit of the Philosopher's Stone was not just about wealth, but about unraveling the mysteries of life itself. The Emerald Tablet, a short, cryptic piece of writing attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, is central to alchemical thought. It speaks in riddles and metaphors about the unity and transformation of matter. Often quoted is the phrase, "as above, so below," which suggests that the macrocosm of the universe is reflected in the microcosm of our world. This notion of interconnectedness is a theme that modern science frequently returns to, particularly in physics. Let's take a closer look at several instances where alchemy had brushes with genuine science. In the realm of metalwork, ancient alchemists had a sophisticated understanding of processes that would form the backbone of metallurgy. For example, alchemists in China and India developed methods to extract and manipulate metals like iron and copper. These methods required precise control of temperature and knowledge of chemical reactions, indicating an empirical approach to experimentation long before modern laboratories. Another fascinating aspect is the exploration of substances for medicinal purposes. Alchemists often mixed and compounded various minerals, plants, and animal products in their quest for health and longevity. While some of their potions were undoubtedly ineffective or even harmful, other concoctions laid the groundwork for later discoveries in pharmacology. The creation of sulfuric acid, for one, emerged from alchemical experiments. Known as oil of vitriol in the Middle Ages, it became vital in various industries. Then there is the concept of transmutation, beyond the literal idea of changing lead into gold. This was about transformation, both physical and spiritual. Alchemists believed that by purifying substances, they could also purify the soul. This philosophical approach resonates, in a way, with modern psychotherapy and self-development practices aimed at personal transformation. The more one dives into these ancient practices, the more it becomes clear that alchemy is rich with exploratory curiosity. Much like our own scientific pursuits, Paracelsus, an alchemist from the 16th century, was a pioneer of the medical revolution in the Renaissance. He advocated for the use of specific chemicals in medicine, moving away from the mystical and laying foundations for a more scientific approach to healing. His work proved to be an early step towards modern chemistry and pharmacology. Thinkers in the Islamic Golden Age, such as Jabir ibn Hayyan, not only expanded upon Greek alchemy, but also emphasized systematic experimentation and empirical methods. Jabir's work displays a strong understanding of the acid-base chemistry long before it was formally recognized in Europe. His writings proposed methods to refine various substances and even inspired European alchemists during the Middle Ages. While we now know that some of the outcomes sought by alchemists aren't possible, like making gold from base metals, their legacy is nonetheless profound. Alchemy's experimental methods and quest for understanding echo in today's scientific practices. By dismissing alchemy outright, are we overlooking a crucial chapter in our history of scientific development? There might be ancient wisdom within its philosophy and methodologies that still holds relevance if we allow ourselves to reflect on the intentions of the alchemists to transform, discover, and better understand the cosmos. Perhaps we can appreciate their efforts not as misguided, but as a form of ancient science that laid stepping stones for the age of enlightenment. So next time you think of alchemy, consider this. Before dismissing it as pure myth, might there be truths, though veiled and hidden, waiting to be uncovered? It's a delightful reminder that knowledge isn't always where we expect to find it. Chapter 10. The Gods' Gadgets. Imagine if, many years ago, people had gadgets and devices that today we would call advanced technology. These weren't just mythical tools from made-up stories, but real items people used for practical, everyday purposes. The idea may seem straight out of a novel. But what if some of the artifacts unearthed from ancient sites were actually tools used by civilizations long ago, tools that we've mistaken for myth? Let's start our exploration with a famous example: the Antikythera mechanism. This is a piece of something that dates back to around the 2nd century BCE and was discovered in a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera. At first glance, it doesn't look like much, just a corroded hunk of bronze. But with time and careful analysis, it turned out to be an ancient analog computer. It could predict astronomical positions and eclipses for calendrical and astrological purposes decades in advance. Scientists have compared its intricacy to that of 18th century clocks, which is pretty remarkable if you think about the time it was made. This begs the question: were the people of ancient Greece more advanced than we've given them credit for? And this is not the only piece that draws our curiosity. Let's journey to ancient Egypt, where the Dendera light often captures the imagination. At the Temple of Hathor in Dendera, there's a set of cryptic wall engravings that some people think show Egyptians handling large, light bulb-like devices. While mainstream archaeologists believe these images depict lotus flowers or an allegorical representation of the universe, some speculate that Egypt had mastered a kind of ancient illumination technology. What would it mean if they had access to electricity or something similar thousands of years ago? How could such an advance change our views of ancient societies? Taking a leap to another part of the world, we have the so-called Baghdad Battery. This is a collection of terracotta pots that were found in Iraq and date back to the Parthian period between 150 BCE and 223 CE. Inside these pots, there are copper cylinders and iron rods. Some scientists believe they could function as galvanic cells or batteries. This idea is fascinating because if these were indeed used to hold an electrical charge, then it suggests there was some understanding of electricity long before Benjamin Franklin and his famous kite experiment. However, there are skeptics who propose alternate uses, such as storage for sacred scrolls or even simple vessels. Yet, the idea that people knew about electricity to millennia ago makes you wonder about the scientific advancements at the time. Let's not forget about the lost wisdom of the Druids in ancient Europe. Much of what they knew is shrouded in mystery because they didn't leave written records. According to some ancient sources, the Druids had an almost magical understanding of the natural world, including the ability to create lifelike illusions or images in thin air. Could they have used sophisticated natural optics or sound to achieve effects that impressed observers so much? These actions were later recorded as magic or mythical. It's a field full of unknowns, yet intriguing in its possibilities. Not far from our reflection on Druids, the well-known Stonehenge stands as a giant enigma. While commonly discussed as a ceremonial site or ancient calendar, there's also potential for some lost technological know-how. How did people move those massive stones across many miles without the wheels or tools we grasp today? Recently, A few experiments have shown that with pebbles and wooden tracks, it was possible to recreate the movement of such giant stones, but much about its precise purpose remains a mystery. Beyond Europe, exploring ancient India reveals another marvel: the Vimana. In ancient Sanskrit texts, these flying machines are described in detail. While many dismiss them as purely mythical, some researchers suggest these might have been based on actual flying devices. This claim is controversial, as there's little physical evidence, but it challenges us to consider whether such legendary texts hold grains of misunderstood truth. In ancient China, too, the knowledge of kites and other mechanical devices suggests a deeper understanding of physics than one might anticipate. The invention of the first seismometer by Zhang Heng in the 2nd century AD demonstrates advanced knowledge in detecting earthquakes, illustrating a hint of technology that many might not associate with that time period. All these pieces, scattered across so many cultures and ages, provoke a tantalizing question: how much of our ancient history remains hidden? Could it be made clearer if we weren't dismissing possible technological advances as mere myths? These stories and artifacts are not evidence of extraterrestrial influences or fantastical chronicles, but rather shine a light on the innovative spirit embedded in the human adventure. As we continue to investigate the remnants of our past, we must keep open minds. It is crucial to approach these subjects with a balance of healthy skepticism and curiosity. The mysterious gaps in our knowledge serve as invitations to delve deeper into the study of our ancestors and their possible accomplishments. As we keep finding, recording, and analyzing ancient relics, each discovery brings us a step closer to understanding the capacities of those who walked this earth long before us. The past may not be as unknowable as it seems, and ancient ingenuity may still inspire future innovation.